Okay, so picture this. An agent reaches out to me from Denver, Colorado about her son who watches my YouTube channel, and he's relocating to the Northern Virginia area, specifically the Fairfax County area. He's going to be working at the Pentagon, but he wants to live in the Springfield, Burke area. So I'm talking to this agent and I'm thinking, you know what? She's about to refer her son to me. Now, I don't know why her son didn't just reach out to me directly. That's a whole nother issue. Well, she begins to tell me their sad story and to let me know their son is actually already working with an agent in Stafford. That's right, Stafford. Now, if you're not from this area, you don't know where Stafford is, but it's not close to Fairfax County. Now, part of the sad story is that the agent from Stafford doesn't want to show the son any houses in Fairfax County. This video will address 7 mistakes that I see people make when they're buying a house in Fairfax County. One of them is choosing the wrong agent. Now, this particular scenario could have been avoided if the son or the mom, whoever in this scenario is in charge, would have asked the agent a few questions. 1, where do you work, right? Number 2, are you available to show me properties? And number 3, are you a full-time agent or dual career? This isn't to say that there's anything negative about someone who is dual career working in this field. This is just to say that if they are working a job and maybe you work with them, then both of you are not available. So their availability isn't that big of a deal. Now, that's the first mistake you want to avoid when you're buying a house in Fairfax County. Let's start the show and get into the remaining 6. Hi, my name is Abraham Walker and I'm your real estate assistant for the Northern Virginia area. Northern Virginia consists of Fairfax County, Arlington County, City of Alexandria, Loudoun County, and Prince William County for this channel. Now, if you're thinking about moving around or relocating to the Northern Virginia area, there is a link in the description for my perfect home questionnaire. Click the link and then fill out the form, and then I'll be in touch with you. There's also my contact information right here. You can call or text me and I'll be the one to respond. I get calls and perfect home questionnaires filled out so frequently that I'm just used to answering everyone's questions. In this video, we're talking about Fairfax County specifically, so there is a Fairfax County playlist. Just click the link right above the house light. Without further ado, let's get into the remaining 6 mistakes I see buyers make on a regular basis when buying a house in Fairfax County. The second reason I see buyers making when they're purchasing a home in Fairfax County is they don't get pre-approved up front. Now, there is a difference between getting pre-approved and having a pre-qualification letter. Pre-qualification is really more or less you just talking to the lender, letting them know that you're interested in buying a house. They may run your credit score, but they don't really do too much digging into your financial details. The pre-approval process is a little bit more rigorous. There's more paperwork involved, and there is more certainty that you'll be able to buy a house. One of the issues with not having a pre-approval letter when you're starting to buy a house or starting the home search process is houses in Fairfax County always, for like the last 10 years or so, have never stayed on the market that long. We never really have a long days on market. So if you're coming from a new market, or maybe you've been renting for some time, then you may think that you have several months to look at houses, right? That the house will be on the market several weeks or days. That's just not the case in Fairfax County. So when you see a property, if you like it, if you're not able to make an offer on it, it may be gone the very next day. Another thing that comes with the pre-approval letter is that you actually have a better idea of how much house you can afford. How much is this house really going to cost you? This is an answer the pre-approval letter will give you. If you're coming from another region, the average sales price in America is in the 300s, but here it's in the 5s, right? So that's a bit of a sticker shock. So you want to know how much that house is really going to cost you every month. Now, I've already done a video about the differences between using an online lender and a local lender. If you want to see that video, just click the link above the orange house. The gist of the matter is that a local lender is a little bit more reliable, and we may be able to position ourselves to secure houses that are in a competitive situation better if we have a local lender. Number 3 on our list is don't let your emotions take control of the transaction. Now, when this video is being shot, we're in an extreme seller's market. It is super emotional right now to be buying a house. So you have to get your emotions in check, because it's very likely that you'll be putting in multiple offers on multiple properties over multiple weeks. This isn't House Hunters where you'll just look at 3 properties and call it a day. Falling in love with a property in Fairfax County right now is not ideal because A, you don't know if you're going to be able to afford the property. B, you don't know if you're going to be able to compete against the other offers that are on the property. And C, we have to keep looking until we secure a property. That means it's going to feel like we're always looking for houses until we secure the right one. I think the silver lining in this is that Fairfax County is a large area. We have great public schools throughout most of the region. So that means that you have a wide variety of housing stock to choose from. To be honest with you, a lot of the layouts are similar. A lot of the houses are similar. A lot of the neighborhoods are similar. The main difference is the commute time and also what amenities are available to you in these different areas. So don't get stuck on the house you're looking at this time. Yes, you may like the layout. Yes, you may like the paint colors. Yes, you may like the kitchen finishes, but we may not be able to secure that property. Keep your game face on and let's keep shopping. The fourth mistake I see buyers making right now is they're not staying in their budget. There's this term in real estate called price creep, right? So what happens is a buyer comes in, say they are approved at $800,000, but they really want to stay in the $650,000, $700,000 price range, right? We show them properties in that price range. They start to get a little discouraged because maybe the rooms are too small, maybe the backyards aren't deep enough, maybe the garages are also small in that price range. So then they move from $650 to $700. A month passed, they move from $700 to $750. Another month passed, they're now in the 800s. Do you see where I'm going with this? Price creep, it happens. And I'm a quality of life type of guy. Like, I want to make sure that my clients have a great overall experience in the Northern Virginia area. So I'm not as vested on you spending a ton of money on your house if you're not able to go on vacations, if you're not able to go out to eat, if you're not able to go to the Nats game. Like, there are other things that go with living in this area, and having a large house or maybe having a large yard may not add to your overall quality of life. So do me a favor, make a budget. Let's try to stick with it as best we can. You'll never see me or anyone on my team trying to get you to buy more house than you can afford. Okay, so I think this is a great spot to stop for an intermission. See how everyone's doing. Do you have any questions over there? If you do, post them down below. If you've already purchased the house and you're watching these videos because you love my personality, let us know what's a mistake you either avoided or you made when you were buying a house. One more thing before we go, I treat these videos like a mock interview, right? So you can kind of see my personality, you see my research style, you see how I'll work for you. If you're looking to either relocate to the area or you are moving around in the Fairfax County area, my contact information is right here on the screen. You can also click the link in the description to fill out the perfect home questionnaire. Once you fill out the questionnaire, we'll meet online and I'll answer any questions that you may have about the real estate process. Now back to the show. The fifth mistake I see buyers making right now is not double checking the public schools that are tied to a particular property. Now in the MLS, sometimes the listing agent will fill in the school that is actually attached to that property, but we can't take that information seriously because we have to do our due diligence. Fairfax County makes it super easy to double check whether or not the school that you are interested in, or just to check what school is tied to that particular property. I recommend that as soon as you start to get those warm and fuzzy feelings about a property and you know you may place an offer on it, check out the schools. Just go to the Fairfax County website. We'll post a link in the description and verify what public school is tied to that property. Now for my people who are just going to be here for a few years, you may only have to check out maybe the elementary school, middle school, or high school. For the group that have moved to Northern Virginia and you're going to be here for maybe a decade or more, you want to check out the entire pyramid. Elementary schools are at the bottom, we have the middle schools in the middle, right? And then we have the high school at the top, right? So it's that little pyramid. We want to check it out because if your kids are elementary school age when you move into the property, but then maybe the high high school isn't ideal, then that means that we may have to sell your property to move your kids into a more favorable high school. And look, don't get me wrong, I make more money by selling more properties, but I would rather you find a pyramid that works for your family up front, so then that minimizes the moves, also that increases your quality of life. And no one likes moving, no one. Okay, so do me a favor, when you're looking at properties, verify the schools, verify the public schools if that's important to you. One more side note about the schools: if walking to the public school is important to you, then you want to be as close to the school as possible. In Fairfax County, they have these arbitrary lines as far as where a kid is located and whether or not they walk to school or whether or not there will be a bus that picks them up. If walking to school is important to you, just make sure you double check that information or try to move as close as possible to the school itself. Okay, so the second to last mistake I see buyers making in Fairfax County right now is that they're skimping on their due diligence. Now, I know at the time this video is being released, it's a competitive market. A lot of people are just removing all kind of contingencies from the equation, but there is a way around it. Now, there are a couple ways that you could actually get around the due diligence process. I want you to click the link above this orange house to see my 3 ways to write better offers, and I go into more details in that video. For the people who are buying houses and is not as competitive, don't skimp on the due diligence. One of the biggest opportunities to really check out this property that you're interested in buying is the home inspection. Yes, I know we talk about the home inspections on a regular basis, but one thing I see buyers doing, and I have to remind my clients about this when we are having the home inspection, is we want to follow the home inspector around. When the home inspector is at the property, this is really our first time really understanding what really works in the property, what's going right, what's going wrong, what we may have to deal with in the future right after we buy the property. Now, I know I say we buy the property, but I feel like I'm a part of this process. I know I won't pay your mortgage after you move into the property, but I still feel like it's a team sport. At the home inspection, you want to make sure you maybe have like a notepad that you're just writing down some different notes. Yes, the home inspector is going to provide you with the report, but I'm telling you this right now, you're not going to pull out that report like you would like to. In an emergency situation, when the toilet overflows or something like that, and you need to turn off that water shutoff valve, you're gonna go straight to those notes. Those notes are gonna save you. Save yourself. Take some notes. So the home inspection is the first due diligence period that I recommend taking serious. The second due diligence is not going to pertain to every property, but most of them in Fairfax County. It's the resale document review. The resale document review is actually when you look at the homeowners association documents and the condo association documents if you're buying a condo. In these documents, you're going to find all kind of board information, but there's some very important things in there too. One of the things that's a major red flag is, are there any large assessments, right? You want to look at those minutes. In those minutes, they're going to talk about the upcoming assessments. These assessments can be several $1,000s if the association is in litigation. Maybe they don't have a large enough reserve fund, or maybe they're trying to fill up the reserve fund, right? Now, after you check and make sure there's no assessments, no big glaring bills coming at you. For my condo buyers, there are 2 things you want to look at in your condo docs that is probably going to be important to you. 1, what type of pets can you have? What is the pet policy? One time we had a client that put a condo under contract and they had 2 dogs. The condo docs revealed that you can only have 1 dog, so we had to back out of that contract. Another scenario one of my clients was in about 3 to 4 years ago was they bought this condo on the 4th level. When we purchased the unit, they had runners all over the place. They had a runner from the front door to the kitchen area. Then they had like a rug underneath the entertainment system and also underneath the dining room. There was like a rug or something like that in the bedrooms. We didn't really think anything of it, but the condo docs revealed that a certain percentage of the floors have to be covered if you want hard surface floors. My client had allergy issues, so she was going to be ripping out all the carpet and putting in hardwood floors. You see how this changes the value of the condo to my client, knowing that now she also has to have some type of soft covering over the floors as well? Do yourself a favor during this last due diligence period that you have. Review your documents. I know they're boring. I know they're long. I also know they were written by lawyers, but review them, review them, review them. Okay, so we're at the end of the video. This is number 7. The number 7 mistake I see buyers making in this market is going to open houses. I know that probably is shocking you that a real estate agent is saying not to attend open houses, but hear me out. When you go to an open house as a buyer, right, as a buyer who's already working with an agent, you're sending some mixed signals to the agent at the open house. The reason why I say you're sending mixed signals is because the agent at the open house is really there to either A, service their client's listing, right, the seller, they're just opening it to the public, letting anybody see it, and B, they have a second motive, which is to secure clients. So they're trying to pitch this property to you. They're pitching it to you, right? They're saying all these wonderful things about the property. I'm not saying that the things that they're saying isn't true. I'm not. But you gotta hear me out. These individuals are salespeople. They're selling you on this property. When you go to the property with your real estate agent, well, at least if you go to the property with me, I'm actually looking for all the negatives in the property. Sure, I think that you're capable of finding out all the positives. Since I've been in the business for 13 years, I've seen multiple hundreds of houses. I've seen a thing or two. So I'm looking for those things. I'm looking for those odd things that you may not notice. Maybe that crack in the basement that may signal some type of structural problem. Maybe we're looking for some wet area in the bathroom that may signal that there is some type of moisture damage. Maybe we're looking for something in the kitchen that signal that this was a shoddy renovation. There's so many things that we can see when we're in the property that if you go during an open house, you're just going to look for the positives. I'm trying to protect you from that, right? So don't attend open houses if you already have a buyer's agent. Put your agent to work. There's a couple scenarios where I've showed properties to a client for months at a time, and then the client usually says something like, Abraham, I saw this house that I like, but there's an open house and I don't want to bother you because you've already been showing me so many properties, so I'm gonna just go by myself. My answer is the same every time. That's unacceptable. I will show you the property. I make a good living from doing real estate sales. Let me do my job. If your agent isn't showing you properties, if your agent doesn't want to show you properties, look at step 1 in this video. That may not be the right agent for you. Now, am I saying to fire that agent? No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But you gotta ask these agents some questions up front. There you have it. There you have it. That's the end of this video. That's the 7 mistakes to avoid when buying a house in Fairfax County. I hope that some of these tips help you to have a successful transaction with my services or without my services. I really want to make sure that people are well taken care of, and I hope you have an enjoyable experience. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. My contact information is going to be right here on the screen. Also, there is the Perfect Home questionnaire in the description. Click the link. Click the link in the description to fill out that form, and I'll be in touch with you. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video. Peace.